Hey, it's Stacey, and it is Friday Eve. That's what I like to call Thursday, Friday Eve. So I'm coming to you with a deep green color to match my camo. Deep green color. I rarely do green, so I just thought about, why not? Why not go in? So I'm just gonna go ahead and get my skin prepped with my squalene, just to put a little bit of hydration on the skin before I go in with the makeup. I've already done my brows and went ahead and primed those. I used one of my or two of my LA Girl concealer. I think these two colors here. Let's see, I've got Warm Honey, and I mixed the Warm Honey with the bronze, these two colors here, to make my base for the lid and also for under the brow and on top of the brow. So I got those nice and sculpted. And like I said, for my brows per se, they're already micro shaded, so I don't have to do a whole lot. I just go in with a little bit of NYX Tame and Frame, and then I've got my old trusty LA Colors. So I've got all of that nice and primed. So I'm gonna go in with that. So that being said, be right back. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my transition color from my MAC Quad palette. I really like this palette for my transition color. It's really nice. It's a color that's just a little lighter than my skin tone, just a little bit. But it gives me a nice transition to get me from the lid to the brow. That in there with a nice blending brush. And this one is loosely packed because I just want a sheer wash of color right there. I don't want to put any intensity on it just yet. Like I said, it's taking me from the brow to the lid. Okay, so I put a little bit of orange in there to warm that color up as well. Now I'm going to go into my Alyssa Edwards palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and there's a color in here that's a really rich kind of a reddy brown. This color here, I'm going to go in with that color just under that transition color. I'm just going to stamp that in there. And after I stamp it in, I'll go in with some blending motions just like that, just to deepen up the crease. All right, I got that in there. I'm going to come in with another brush, my Sonia Kashuk, just to blend that out a little bit more and soften up that area between the brow and the transition. Give it a nice blended look. All right, I got that blended out how I want. Next, I'm going to come over and I'm going to put a little bit of a concealer right in this area and get ready for my green color. Now, I'm not going to do an exaggerated cut crease or anything like that. I just want to make sure that I'm able to get a really good pop of color with this green that I am using. And it's from my trusty palette that I made up. It's MAC, and the color that I'm going to press onto my lid is going to be, not Plumage, it's going to be Humid. Humid is a beautiful, beautiful evergreen color. don't know if you can see that. That's the color that I'm going to press onto my lid. I'm just going to press that right in there. And if I do a cut crease, it'll be very subtle. Not going to be anything exaggerated. So not a true heavy cut. Because I'm going to blend it out when I get out to the outer V anyway. Okay. Okay, I got the concealer in there. And now I'm just going to push the humid right in that area. Okay. Right in there. And the concealer is just going to hold it. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. It's pushed right in that area there. Like I said, I don't normally do greens, but I don't know. I just had this feeling of why not, you know? Why not step outside of your comfort zone? Not that it's not a comfort zone thing, it's just that I rarely do it. So here you go. That's coming in nice and pretty. It's a nice pigment there. Alright, starting on the left eye. Just pushing the product on in there. Alright. Everything's coming on great. Pushing that in there. Like so. And then I'll do a little bit more. I'll just smudge that over a little bit, push some more of that brown over. We'll be almost done. So that green wasn't as intense as I wanted. So I went into my Cargo, what is this, Namaste India palette. And I got the color Daydreaming right in here. I think that is super pretty. So that just gave it that intense evergreen that I wanted. So I just layered it on top. I'm like, oh, this isn't quite as intense as I want. So here we go. So I'm putting a little bit more of that back roll right over here at the end. Just pushing that right in there. And just giving it a little bit more color. And blend it right over the green that I put down. Because you lose some of it when you do the concealer and everything, so you have to just put the color back. Now I'm going to warm the eye up just a little bit with a little bit of that orange color right there, just to warm up this area right in here, right before the brow bone. A little bit more dimension when you add a little bit of warmth to your design. A little bit more. Okay, now going in with some liner. Start in the middle first and then drag it over. And then after the liner, we'll be ready for lashes, and after that it's going to be complexion products. Alright, liner's on. Now go in with a little lash. Coat my lash with a little mascara. And then comes the falsies. So today I'm going to wear a really nice wispy lash. So it's going to be smaller in the front and then it'll wing out so that you can see the green on the eye. If I wear a lash that, you know, it's pretty much the same length all over or more length in the middle, then eye makeup will be totally lost. So I chose a nice wispy one because I want you to still see the eye design. I'll just place it down. I always place the lash in the center. After I let the glue dry, I put it down in the center and then drag from either corner and place it down where I want it to go permanently. Well, until I take them off. All right, one down and one to go. The key is to, using the Lash Duo, the key is to let it dry down first before you try to put it on your lid, because it needs to be a little tacky so that it won't slip and slide all over. Another tip when putting on lashes is to put more glue on either end of it so that it'll stay down, because that's where it tends to come up or peel up. You notice it's always on the ends. It's always on the end here by the tear duct, always on the outside. So if you put just a little bit more than you have in the middle, then it'll stay down a little better. But the key, I have a fan right here, the key is to let it dry down. All right, I got the lashes on, and next is going to be complexion. So like I said, I already put my oil. I put my squalene oil down for hydration, but what I will do is I'm gonna have to take a little bit of this fallout and my little wipies over here and take just a little bit out here that went past where it should go, and then a little bit out over here where it went past where it should go. All you need is a little wipey. Take care of that. Okay, we're all set with that. So for complexion, today, I think I'm gonna go in with, take a little bit more of that out. I think today I'm gonna go in with black opal and black walnut, and you know, I always depot so that I don't have a ton of heavy bottles all around. So first of all, let's see, priming. I'm gonna prime a little bit, just in the T-zone area. Just where I get my oiliest. Right in there. And I'll be back with that. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with my foundation brush and just lay it down, the foundation, and then I'm going to buff it in with the beauty blender. And make sure I have my beauty blender nice and moist. Dampen it with water. And that's it. So I just place it. Where I want it to go. And that's about it. And then beauty blender nice and damp. And I just drag it wherever I want it to go. And I'll probably do 2 layers of this. Alright, I have the first layer down. And then I usually go over one more time when I want maximum coverage. Just all the way. You see how this beauty blender just blends it in effortlessly. And this way you get perfect coverage all over. Just go into every place and blend it in. Have your skin prepped and you make sure your sponge is nice and full of water, it goes on very nice. Alright, into the hairline. Now it's time to bring some high points back into the skin. We're all one color. Did that music just get loud? We got one color. Now I gotta go in and highlight. So I'm using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer, and the color is Caramel, just in the high points. I have a smaller beauty sponge. I'm gonna keep that nice and moist so I can go ahead and blend that in those areas where I want to be highlighted. I like to take shots while I'm filming. So the same as foundation. Go in. I try to keep the highlight right in this area and then blend out. Don't want to take it any farther than where I put my eyeshadow. And if it does get out there, I'll just go along with the beauty blender that I used for the foundation. I'll go ahead and blend that back out because I want this area here to be my skin. I don't want it to be some crazy color. Now, if you have a large forehead, you really don't want to bring a lot of attention to that forehead. What you want to do is more of a contour. So my forehead's not small, but it's not huge. And I just highlighted this area, and I'm going to go over top that with a little bronzer anyway. So just went in on the bridge of my nose, the high points. I don't need to bring this all the way down here because I already have a long nose, so I don't want to elongate it by bringing that highlight all the way down. I just keep it right in here just to give a nice little elevation. And I've got it in the high points where I want it, because you're trying to give the illusion of an oval face shape. I have pretty much an oval face shape, but I've gained a little weight over this quarantine, so might not be so oval anymore. So now I've got those high points brought back in. It's time to set. I'm gonna go in under my eyes with a Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm gonna go under with a mixture of RCMA, setting powder, and a little Sasha Buttercup right in that area. Sometimes if I go in with just Sasha Buttercup, it'll be a little bit too yellow. And since I'm already highlighted, I don't want to go in with just the RCMA. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I feel like it makes it too light, and I don't want to be too light. I want to be just right. So I just go in and set this area. Remember, I don't want to have too much highlight going on out here. I just want to keep my highlight right in this area here. So I'm just going to set right in this area. And I'm going to go over top the rest of my face with that RCMA. It'll be just fine for that. Take a larger fluffy brush, and you're just going to bounce it over the rest. You don't want to drag it, just bounce it, because if you drag it, you're going to take away the foundation that you just laid down. Now I'm going to continue with my under eye, and I'm going to use a black liner. And then after the black liner, I'm going to smoke it out with some of the green shadow that's on top. And then trace some of that back rolls right underneath to give it some definition. That back rolls was the dark color that we use underneath or on the side of that green color. That's back rolls, honey, from Anastasia Beverly Hills, Alyssa Edwards palette. Now we're nice and smoky. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit of contour product, not a lot, and I'm gonna use a fluffy brush, an eyeshadow fluffy brush, to put this contour just to make sure, dust a little bit off on my hand, just to make sure I don't use too much. Because I want the focus to be on the eyes. I don't want my contour product. I'll smile to do this one. I don't want my contour product to take the center stage today. Just in here. Just for a little definition. Not a lot. And the same thing I feel like for the contour for my nose. Just gonna do something soft right in here, not a lot. On into the brow. For blush, I'm gonna go subtle as well. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Trio in, what is this one? Cocktail Party. So I'm just gonna do a little bit back and forth with these two. This nice corally color with a little bit more of that tawny brown color. I want to stay right in here. Keep that color right here. Because the show, the star of the show, is the green eye. And not the blush. And I'm gonna do a blush topper today. I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Duo and Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. And again, I want something very soft. So I'm gonna get a brush that's very, very wispy. And I just want, like I said, a topper. A nice topper. And it's that Yellow Eye Freestyle, so you know you have to be careful with Miss Riri. Because Riri will get away from you. Okay? When you say you want to do something a little subtle, you better not play with Riri. I'm done with that, and I'm going to blend that out a little bit because I know how this goes. Time for my bronzer. It is, oh, somebody is calling me. I thought I had that down. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of bronzer. Who's calling me? They know I'm taping. A little bit of bronzer just over top of that 5 head a little bit. All right, I went ahead and finished with my brow products. Now I'm going to give me a little wash of finishing effect with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in dark, just to give that skin that nice glow. And I did go in with my bronzer and bronze me up a little bit. Yeah, I had to be very careful with that Riri. So this is my G.I. Jane look, guys. This is it. Hope you guys liked it. So I just wanted to do something nice and green. Do something nice and green for you guys. Hope you like it. I had fun playing in it. And I got all this stuff all over my hands. I hate when I take pictures and it was a cute picture and either my hands are ashy or I got some crazy makeup on top. So I'm not going to be ashy today. So I'm going to make sure. I looked at some pictures and I was like, look at the ash. The ash is real. All right, so this is it, guys. Gotta make some cute thumbnail pictures. Hope you guys don't think I don't have anything on, but yeah, thought it was pretty cute. I enjoyed it. I had fun with Riri. Lots of fun with Riri. She'll get you together. I like it. I'm like a little Miss G.I. Stacey. All right, take care. Mwah. Friday Eve. Stay safe.